Retreat series, Dhamma talk number 31. Let's see how what we are practicing, as the Buddha has taught, the process, a brief summary of the process we are practicing. Okay, it said, Dhamma is profound and it is hard to see. Okay? Whenever you hear or you read the word see, what it means is it's the direct experiential understanding. That's what it means by see. Dhamma is profound and it is hard or difficult to see. It is true. It is hard and difficult to see if the opposite dhammas are predominating in one's life. And what are the opposite dhamma? Opposite dhammas are kilesa, mental defilements, lobha, dosa, and moha, greed, aversion, and uncertainty. If they are predominant, then you will never see the Dhamma. But if they are not, then it becomes very easy to see the Dhamma. So that is a direct correlation between the two. So Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching in general we say, or for us more precisely what we are practicing, how can we understand the Dhamma? How can we see the Dhamma? First and foremost is step by step. You have to read or listen. You read the scriptures or you listen to the Dhamma. Nowadays, it is compiled on the online, in sound or in scriptures. That's the first step. You have to read, you have to listen. And after you have read and listened, okay, you don't just superficially read or superficially listen. You must be quite intent, quite carefully listen about it. Okay? Read about it. And when you are reading or listening to the Dhamma lectures or Dhamma talks, it's also important that you are listening from someone who you have confidence in, who you have respect in. If you do not have respect and confidence in the person, even though you are listening the same Dhamma, it will not affect you that much. So that is the second step. Read, listen. You must have respect to the author who wrote it, or you must have confidence in the person who is delivering it. And if that's so, it becomes more effective. The Dhammas become more effective in you. And once you have listened carefully, read carefully, then of course your confidence or faith or saddha increase in the Dhamma, which means you have faith and confidence is increased in the Buddha. Step by step, reading the Dhamma, listening the Dhamma, having confidence in the teacher, and eventually it goes right to the confidence or faith in the Buddha. Those are the step by step you have to go through. And if you have confidence and faith in the Buddha, automatically his teachings come in line. And as we are the practitioner, it is directly related to the practice. We must have confidence and faith in the practice that we are doing. Only then that Dhamma, that practice will be effective for you. These are the, seems like little things, but they are very important. Once you have confidence and faith in the practice that you are doing, okay, you are already on the first block. You are on the phase ready to go. And in here to see the Dhamma, it is very important to practice correctly or the correct method, because there are so many methods. Even under Buddhism, there are so many methods, so many techniques, so many meditation techniques, and so on. Regardless, whatever practice that you are following, whatever method of meditation you are following to overcome the kilesa, the enemy, the opposite Dhamma. Regardless what, you can approach, you can use anything you want to overcome the kilesa. In other words, to have the freedom from the kilesa. Eventually, there's always one Dhamma that's come to. You might be practicing samatha meditation and you have attained 8 jhana, 9 jhana, the highest level. Regardless, eventually you have to come down, come out of the jhana, and then practice what? Satipatthana, mindfulness. You have to practice mindfulness. If you do not observe the mind, if you do not observe the matter, nama and rupa, if you do not observe feelings, if you do not observe Dhamma, regardless, you would never see the Dhamma. Okay. But to be able to reach to that level, you need to have a purity of mind. And among all the methods, how to purify your mind, mindfulness, sati, is the best method. Because sati you can apply at all time. So to speak, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether you are sitting, or whether you're walking, or whether you are moving about and doing things. In all 4 postures, you can apply this method, mindfulness. And if you achieve the purity of mind through mindfulness, in other words, 24/7, every second of the day, then that kind of purity of mind will give you the freedom from kilesa, and then insight into the true nature of Dhamma, or the mind and matter. So that's a brief step, but it's the process that one needs to go through. And if you have that clarity, doesn't matter what method you are practicing, understand that way, and then eventually it always comes back down to the observation of mind and matter. Without that observation, without observing the full foundation of mindfulness, you cannot see the true Dhamma. So in here, what is it? Buddha's teaching Dhamma. And also in one way, you can use that word, sutta. Sutta is also great collections of discourses taught by the Buddha. Okay, sutta. Just use the word sutta. What is sutta means? Sutta literally means a line to frame, or a line to frame. In other words, let's say you are writing a letter. If you do not have lines on your pages, the letters you wrote might go a little up, a little down, slant, upward, downward, up and down. It's never straight, but if you have a line, automatically everything will be just perfectly parallel. Okay? Everything in sync. That's what a line means. A frame. Frame is also something that keeps everything, okay, within the boundary. So that is what sutta means, a line or a frame. Or even, it will use the one ropes that is tied around the raft. In the olden days, you drifted down the woods or bamboos down the river. You have to tie it up nicely and neatly with ropes. That tying of the ropes around the raft in straight and great orderly fashion, that is sutta. So in other words, sutta is a frame or a discipline to follow, or it is a method or technique to follow with ease so that one can achieve a set objective. That's what sutta means. That's what discourse means. Okay? It is the discipline or method or technique, a frame, a line of a practice so that one can follow with ease, step by step, and achieve the required objective. Discourse, sutta, that's what it is. So that's why it is very important for us. The Buddha has set down exactly with precision, step by step, without skipping anything. You cannot find any loophole or a weak point. He taught us exactly how to practice, and it is very important for us to walk that line straight and narrow, precisely. And if you do exactly as is being taught, you will achieve your objective with ease and with the shortest amount of time. That's what sutta is. So we try to see that the sutta, another word we can try and understand it, called bhavana. Okay, we always know what is that. Dana, Sila, Bhavana, Dana, Sila, Bhavana, the three pillars of Buddhism: generosity, morality, and mental development or mental culture, bhavana. So, what is bhavana? Bhavana is a set of dhammas that one needs to develop. A set of dhamma that one needs to develop. That's what bhavana is. Okay? Abhavana, that is totally opposite of bhavana. You are not developing. You let it go astray, dispersed. Abhavana. Bhavana and abhavana. So a set of dhamma that one needs to develop. And what is that set of bhavana or dhamma that one needs to develop? We all know that. The Eightfold Noble Path, those are the dhamma, the eight dhamma that one needs to develop. Okay? One of the Four Noble Truth. Okay? Mega Sissa, Magga Esa is the Dhamma that ones need to develop. And what is bhavana? Bhavana is mental development. So what is bhavana? Bhavana is developing the Eightfold Noble Truth. That's bhavana. And in here too, what is bhavana? You developed it, you multiplied it. Okay? You multiplied it again and again and again and again, repeatedly. That is bhavana. You repeatedly develop that. You multiplied it, you repeat it, you go countlessly, numerously, endlessly. That is bhavana. And in here, there's Buddha taught us one way in here. I think you have heard that before, because this whole retreat series Dhamma talk is based upon heedlessness and heedfulness. Okay? Pamada, heedlessness, and apamada, heedfulness. Buddha taught us under that word in many different ways. In other words, heedless, heedful is what? In essence, the same thing, mindful. Being mindful and not being mindful. But in a meaning sense, and the word meaning sense, the approach are different. Buddha taught us in many different ways so that it will touch everyone, because each one is touched by the different approaches, different touch, different words. It becomes most significant to that person. That's why Buddha taught us many, and we have taught quite a few pairs of these heedlessness and heedfulness. And here the Buddha mentioned about this. If you remember this phrase, Pali phrase, Kusalanan Dhammanan Bhavanaya Abahulita Pamado. What it is when one is practicing to achieve, to attain the highest form of wholesomeness, the supreme wholesomeness. So it's set, the objective is set, not anything else. That person is practicing for the highest level of wholesomeness, kusala. Many levels of kusala, this one is the highest, the most supreme level of wholesomeness. That is the objective. And if one is practicing with that objective, okay, bhavanaya again, you are developing. Abahulita. Abahulita. Pamado. Pamado is heedless. If you are not doing repeatedly, innumerably countless number of observation or meditation, if you are not practicing repeatedly, if you have lost your repetition, if you are not doing observing countlessly, endlessly, numerously, then that person is called heedless. You might be practicing. You might be practicing for about 12 hours straight, non-stop. Great. But on the 13th hour you missed, then you become heedless. It's called heedless, not heedful. That much. Because your objective is very high. You are practicing for the highest form of kusala, wholesomeness. So that's called abahulita. So opposite, what is opposite called bahuli? Bahuli. Abahuli is you have a break, a gap, a stop here, a stop there, looking here, looking there. taking it easy, not putting much effort. Those are things are bahulita. And bahuli is repeatedly, non-stop, continuously, no break, no gap, with full effort and full alertness. That is called bahuli kama, the actions of repeated actions of the highest level of observation. Okay. Bahuli, so abahuli and bahuli. There's another pair. Okay. We have learned about 7 pairs before. Now it's another pair. Buddha taught us with this word, bahuli and abahuli, repeatedly. So if you are observing repeatedly, innumerably, countlessly, endlessly, again and again and again, what? Observing what? Observing the object that is arising at the moment. And if you are doing so, then it means bahuli. Bahuli kama, apamado. If you are doing like that, you are in states of heedfulness. So that is the pair, abahuli and bahuli. Just one word, but the whole phrase, you know what it intends for. So in here too, if you look at in Dhammapada, what it is purity of mind. Okay. What is purity of mind? If one is practicing, okay, one must practice. Number one is one must practice to purify the mind. That is no if or but, must practice to purify the mind. That is number one. Number two, if you are practicing that way, you have to purify that state repeatedly again and again and again. That's the second stage. You have to do again and again. And when you are practicing to purify the mind repeatedly again and again, one cannot be lazy. One cannot be lazy. And also one must have a great desire to achieve the objective. And to achieve that objective, one must stay awake and alert. All step by step. Just like words, one word, one word, one word. They are very, very systematic. It tells you exactly what to do. It's only about 1 or 2 lines, but it carries a great significance. And if you are doing so, if you do that way, what happens? You will achieve happiness and peace. That's in the Dhammapada, just 2 lines, short. It gives you the whole procedure of what to do, and also it tells you the objective, the benefit, the goal. You will achieve happiness and peace. So in here, if you truly want a true happiness and true peace, you must repeat again and again and again. What? The process of purification of the mind. Whatever technique, whatever the process of purification of the mind must be repeated again and again and again. And if you do so, you will achieve happiness and peace. And of course, there are many methods, samatha method, and even an anapana methods, or this method or that method, 40 kinds of meditations, even under the Buddhist teaching. But among all of them, we all know the best way of purification of the mind, the most effective and efficient way is mindfulness. Mindfulness of the, in short, nama and rupa, mind and matter. If you do that technique, that is the most effective, efficient, and would achieve the result. in the shortest amount of time. So in here, what it is, mindful. You have to be mindful. When you say mindful, let's put it another process in. First and foremost, what are you mindful of? Nama and Rupa. That's the objects. Okay? It's a Rupa, material or mental object. When you are mindful, number one must be ready, all the time ready for the object of your observation. The readiness must be always there. One must be ready. Number two, as soon as that object arises at that present current moment, you must face it. In other words, you are face to face with the object. That's important. First, you must be ready for the object. Secondly, you must always, all the time, face to face with the object. Number two. Number three, when you are engaging face to face with the object, you must be aware of the beginning, the middle, and the end. That's number three. We just put it, the Buddhists put it, mindfulness in a very simplistic form and a practical form. Be ready. Go face to face and know the beginning, the middle, and the end. And to be able to do those three, to carry out these 3 points, one must be full of ardent effort. Okay? Viriya, you must apply great amount of energy. And if you have these 4 points, then you have mindfulness. That's so, that's sati, mindfulness. Because we are just putting up all together again and again under the name of bahuli, repeat it. And you must repeat this again and again and again. If you are ready for any objects, that means you are in the endless repetition, you're going on and on. If you are facing the object, if you are engaging the object face to face, the period of beginning, middle, and the end, at that moment, what is really happening is you are in a state of samadhi, concentration. That facing the object, okay, totally and completely, engaging the object totally and completely, that means you have samadhi, concentration developed at that moment in a very powerful state. And when you have that samadhi, whatever object that you're observing, whether it's a physicality or mentality, you will know exactly as it is. You will know its true nature, which become wisdom. That's how mindfulness is. Moment to moment to moment, you will be in that state. Mindful, concentrated, insight. Mindful, concentrated, insight. The point is bahuli. You have to repeat that again and again and again, repeatedly. Okay? If you do not repeat, what happens? Automatically, there's a breakdown. As soon as there's a breakdown, what happens? Kilesa, mental defilements, lobha, dosa, moha, they are there waiting a chance to arise. As soon as you break down, as soon as there's a gap, there is mental defilement arising. You are waging war on mental defilements. You're trying to get purity away from mental defilements. That's why how important this bahuli, the process of repeated observation, is how critical and important it is. So if you don't, they come in, but if you do, what happens? If you do means you are fully mindful, correctly mindful, sama, sati. If you are mindful, at that moment, if you are repeatedly observing, at that moment, a state of arekha arises. What is arekha? Arekha means it is protecting and guarding. Automatically, if you are face to face with that object from the beginning, middle, and the end, at that moment, you are being protected and guarded. From what? From kilesa. So you are in the states of arekha, or protective state, or being guarded state. You have a protection. You have a security officer guarding for you. That's the first state. And if you have that, if you are being protected, and if you have been guarded, what happened? That is only for one moment, one observation. But if you can repeat that again, bahuli, again and again and again, in other words, you are being mindful and mindful again and again and again, you reach to a state of avarana. Avarana is a state of prevention. The other one was still guarded. Avarana is you have been prevented. Okay? Prevented from what? Prevented from the state where kilesa are arising. In other words, you have the prevention. You have antibiotics. No germs can come in. So, preventative nature is being done, but you must observe that repeatedly. Okay? First of all is protect and guard. If you can protect and guard, secondly, you will be prevented from the arising or attack of the kilesa, avarana. And if it is prevented, what happens? The snake state is enemies attacking, you're being protected by something somewhat, and then that protection is so strong, then you have prevented of any enemy's advance. That means you are secure and safe. The word is goti. Goti, secure and safe. Secure and safe from the enemy of kilesa. That's the third stage, goti. And when you have that goti, or secure and safe, if you are continuously, repeatedly, okay, safe and secure, what is it? You have the freedom, you are liberated. Freedom or liberated from what? From kilesa. Freedom or liberation, vimukti, step by step. First of all is arekha, protect and guard. When you get a continuous protection and guarding, avarana, you have prevented the enemies to advance. And if the enemies cannot advance, what happens? You are safe and secure. Goti. And then if you are repeatedly, continuously safe and secure, what happens? You are liberated. You are free from your enemies. 4 stages. Arekha, avarana, goti, vimukti. 4 stages that goes. When you are totally liberated, what happened? Freedom from, liberated from the enemy. The kingdom you are in is in a state of peace. That's how peace get it. Peace. Santi. Okay, so there are many kind of peace there, but one thing is peace and happiness. Santi. You get peace and happiness if you are liberated from the enemy, which is kilesa. And in here we need to know this santi, okay, this peace, happiness and peace. What is this happiness and peace? First and foremost is just exactly as the process. They have a different kind of peace. The first one is the dinga santi. The dinga is momentary. Momentary peace, you get it? Again, peace, understand that. What is peace? Peace is absent from the vibration of kilesa. Vibration of kilesa is absent. Absent from the vibration of kilesa is peace. Understand that, because as soon as we say peace, we can go wild. Precise definition. What is peace? Absence of kilesa. Absence from the vibration of kilesa. Totally quiet, calm, quietude. That is peace, what we are talking about. So in this peace too, the dinga santi, momentary peace. Momentary peace is whenever you are observing an object that is arising at the present moment from the beginning to the end. At that moment, you have no lobha, dosa, and moha, no mental defilements. That moment is the momentary peace. Of course, we cannot feel it, we cannot sense it, we cannot experience it, because it is just one little noting, or maybe 2 or 3 little notings. That peace is not prominent, significant, and we can't experience it, and we can't feel it. We don't know yet, but it is there. Intellectually, we can understand it. Oh, there is peace because there is no mental defilement. But you can't really experience it yet. So that is the dinga santi, momentary peace. And the word that we are talking comes in. Bahuli, repeatedly. Bahuli kama, repeated actions. What repeated actions? We must produce that state. We must produce that momentary peace, state of momentary peace, repeatedly, continuously, innumerable times. That is bahuli come in. We know that's a peace, we already have the peace, but we can't experience it yet. But our job is to repeat that peace, momentary peace, again and again and again and again, repeat it endlessly. When we repeat that again and again and again, then there's a cumulative power comes in. Cumulative power. Just like little raindrops, 1 drop, 2 drops, but after a while, if it keeps on raining, the bucket is full. Just like that, this momentary peace, we repeat again, we repeat again, and when it becomes cumulative, then we can start feel and experience the nature of that peace, what we are talking about. Okay. It's called ajanta santi. Ajanta santi. When the momentary peace are repeated many times, endless time, it reached to a stage of another type of peace called Ajanta Santi. Ajanta Santi is a peace in which you cannot feel any vibration of mental defilements. For that whole stretch, you do not feel any vibration, any dispersion, any disturbance of mental defilements. You reach that Ajanta Santi. And when you reach that Ajanta Santi, you can really feel and experience that peace. To have that, what? You must do bahuli, repeat it again endlessly without a break and a gap. And that peace is called the Ajanta Santi. It's all the, how should I phrase it? That is where the disappearance of suffering arises. At that moment, another way to put it is that no dispersion, no vibration of kilesa. It is where there is the disappearance of both physical and mental suffering ceased at that moment, at that duration, extended time of period. They call it the element of extinguishing, or extinguished element, whichever way you understand. What does it extinguish? The suffering. What does it extinguish? Mental defilements. It is totally extinguished. And that is Ajanta Santi. Santi is the peace. So in here, if you get the Ajanta Santi, peace, that is the objective that we are aiming for. You can even right here, right now, for a period of time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, you can experience that peace. Or you can call it Nibbana, where mind and matter cease to exist. When suffering exists, means mind and matter cease to exist. What is suffering? Suffering is nama and rupa. Okay? The way I'm presenting is we are weaving through everything what we have taught, connecting from one words to the other, one step to the other, one process to the other. Extinguishing of kilesa, extinguishing of physical and mental suffering. That means cessation of mind and matter. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 1 hour, it could be a few hours. In this very life, you can experience it. But you need that Dhamma Buddha gave us, bahuli, the proper, correct observation, repeated endlessly, innumerable time, without a break and without a gap, with great effort, putting it within the frame, right on the line. That must be exercised and put it. So that is Ajanta Santi, and one way of calling the Nibbana. So we talk about Santi, Santi, Santi. In here, as we have time, I like to put in another one. We should know another Santi, another peace. It calls Samuti Santi. Samuti. Samuti Santi is nominal peace. Peace, the way we understand, everybody understand. Nominal peace. Okay? It's a nominal peace. The peace we understand is, this peace, you don't need a method, you don't need a practice, this peace is. You feel very peaceful, you feel safe, you feel secure, you feel fantastic. But you don't need to do any personal effort and practice and great ardent energy. But what you need is a faith, a blind faith in a higher power, a blind faith in a supreme power, a blind faith in a supreme being, a savior, a deva, a god, a deity, supreme deity, believing, but not the ordinary belief, but one blind belief, and it is a belief with no exception. When you believe that way, you also find peace. You feel very peaceful. Some of the people who are practicing and they believe in a certain deity and they just practice that deity technique, and you felt like you become one with the deity and you feel great peace too. And that peace, we call it samuti santi, because that peace doesn't last forever. As soon as you believe in that deity or supreme being, you have that peace. But that can change, that always changes with the changing conditions, with the changing environment, or a certain thing comes up, a situation or a condition come up that contradicts that belief. Automatically at that moment that faith broke down. When the faith broke down, also your peace broke down. So that is a peace believing in something, that something is protecting you, guarding you, preventing all the danger, giving you liberation from all the enemies. That's it, the steps are the same, but the source is different. The other source is what? Ajanta Santi. Nobody can give it to you. You can't depend on anybody. You must depend on yourself, and you must put great effort. An effort like that you have never put before. That kind of process is required to have this. This one is, you don't have to work hard. You can be even a slouch, a lazy. All that you do was the great devotional blind belief. And if you believe that, you can have that kind of samuti santi, which lasts as long as the condition is right. Once the condition change, that peace is gone. So that kind of samuti santi should be understood. Those are for lazy, dependable, lazy people, like dependency or dependent nature of people, and people who like free lunch, or it is a process, it's called self-convincing process or brainwashing yourself. That kind of nature, that kind of people like that kind of peace. They always depend on something. But we all know there is no such thing as what we call free lunch. You pay somewhere, somehow, in some other way. That samuti santi should be understood in conjunction with the dinga santi, momentary peace, and ajanta santi, the peace where all suffering cease to exist. And Buddha taught all these things, explanation. Okay, explanations are explained by various great teachers down the centuries of lines. I'm not just creating or making it up. But the Buddha teaching is Kusalanan Bhavana. Bhavanaya, Kusalanan Dhammanam Bhavanaya, Bahuli, Kama Pamado, heedless and heedful, just tipping on that one little word, Bahuli and Abahuli. Through that, the Buddha taught us. So in here, we have seen this, and the same thing, we use the word Bahuli. And there's another pair of words the Buddha taught us in a different way. Won't go into details, but we'll give you that word. Aditana. Aditana is determination. Anaditana, no determination. Determination is you stand firm and strong, unwavering, unmovable towards a cause, towards a project, towards a job. Anaditana is push over, easygoing, you change your mind, you can't decide your mind. That word, aditana and anaditana. Again, Kusalanan, Dhammanan, Bhavanaya. Anaditana, Pamado. If you are not resolute, then you are heedless. But aditana kaman, if you are resolute, then it is apamado, you are heedful. But these are the level for what? You are practicing for the highest level of kusala, wholesomeness. So under these two pairs of words, Bahuli Kama and Abahuli Kama, Aditana Kaman and Anaditana Kaman, Buddha taught us how to practice what? The full foundation of mindfulness. So may all of you be able to practice this full foundation of mindfulness repeatedly, Bahuli Kama, and resolutely, Aditana Kama, and may you be able to experience Ajanta Santi, supreme peace, as soon as possible. Sadhu, 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 Buddham Pujami. Dhammam Pujami. Sangham Pujami. Thank you very much.